It's hard to believe that already 2 days have passed since Rockstar dropped the second official trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2, which is still coming spring 2018. We don't have an official release date as of yet, but hopefully there'll be no more delays for Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm banking on probably somewhere May 2018. May was the same month that Red Dead Redemption came out many years ago. This time around, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So I did a breakdown of the second official trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2, and I asked for your opinions, your views, your thoughts regarding Red Dead Redemption 2. And since it's a Saturday and there's nothing else going on, I thought, why not just talk about what's on your minds, your reactions to the second official trailer of Red Dead Redemption 2. And no, Steven, I didn't pick up on the animated horse bollocks. Look, you may be into horse balls, but that's not my kind of thing. But to each their own, Steven. Okay, so first off, let us go to my video. And let's read off what everyone had to say. We're going to go through everybody that left a comment when I recorded this video. First, King Easy GeauxBurns. I thought it was amazing. Really cool seeing Dutch in the trailer. Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, even though it's called Red Dead Redemption 2. So you have to kind of, I guess, have some wiggle room there, because if you go by the name, it sounds like a sequel, but it's not a sequel. As far as we know, it's not a sequel. But from the trailer itself, it looks like it's set in the late 1800s. Once again, we don't have an exact year or decade, but I'm guessing either 1880s, 1890s. And yes, we're going to be following Dutch's gang, the Vanderlyn gang, and the protagonist is in that gang. His name, of course, is Arthur Morgan. So it's really cool to see a younger version of Dutch. And from everything that John Marston said about Dutch, how he was back in the day, it makes me wonder if A, is that the Dutch we're going to get, or B, was that simply Marston remembering Dutch from like rose-colored glasses? So it'll be fascinating. Is Dutch in Red Dead Redemption 2 more like Robin Hood, robbing from the rich, robbing from the government in order to help the less fortunate? Or is that a ruse? Is he just using it as a cover? And he's still out for himself? I guess we're going to find out when more information comes regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, specifically revolved around Dutch Vanderlyn. Next, we go to Kyle. GeauxBurns, I'm with you on the single protagonist. I felt Grand Theft Auto 5 story suffered a little bit with the 3 protags, so just one playable character would help the story feel less disappointed, but who's to say it could work either? I guess we'll find out next year. All in all, it was a great trailer. Looking forward to seeing Dutch's gang in their prime. And that's one of the rumors that have been circulating for a while now, was the possibility of, like Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to have 3 protagonists. Now, if you go by the trailer alone, it looks like that's not going to be the case. Apparently, according to the trailer, it follows one protagonist, Arthur Morgan. And I agree, Kyle. I think that it worked for Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, it kind of worked, but it feels like one of those tricks that would only work once for Rockstar when it comes to a game. You go with 3 protagonists because you want to do something different for Grand Theft Auto 5. I get it. It's cool. But to do it again would feel like going to that well one too many times, if you catch my drift. So I don't think that it would be like lightning striking twice when it comes to Red Dead Redemption 2 if we once again have 3 protagonists to switch between. Now, we did see some additional characters, like a Native American character along with a female outlaw who obviously have some sort of ties or relation with Arthur Morgan. Now, the question is whether or not they're simply just members of his posse, his friends, allies, or more, perhaps the other 2 rumored protagonists that we can play as. But as of right now, I really hope that we only have one character to play as, and I hope that that character is obviously Arthur Morgan. And like you said, we're definitely going to find out more about Dutch's gang in their prime coming out spring 2018 when we finally get our hands on Red Dead Redemption 2. Next, we go to Grandmaster Gav. GeauxBurns, I love, quote-unquote, My Name is John Marston trailer from Red Dead Redemption. That's a classic trailer from back in the day. This trailer doesn't exactly allow my fears. The inclusion of Dutch was interesting. Hopefully he'll be prominent. To be honest, I was hoping that Rockstar would have taken a serious approach on an earlier time, focusing on the struggle between Native American and emerging immigrant population. Alas, this doesn't seem to be the case. Hope my expectations for this trailer, let's see, let me expand it, are exceeded because at the moment my anticipation is muted and it seems quite safe. Perhaps dampening expectations will increase my enjoyment of the end product. That has happened numerous times with films for me. I agree with you, Grandmaster, regarding expectations. I think it's important when it comes to anything in life, whether it's a video game, a TV show, movie, a potential girlfriend or boyfriend, not to have your expectations too high, because if you set the bar way too high, you're most of the time going to be setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. The same thing goes for Red Dead Redemption 2. I just hope that it gets somewhere in the ballpark with Red Dead Redemption. Now, graphically, I think it looks beautiful. And I kind of sort of like Arthur already. He's very, very different from John Marston. He doesn't seem like he is as much of a white hat as John Marston was. He's more of a black hat. But the name of the game is Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm imagining that when we first are introduced to Arthur Morgan, you know, he is an asshole. He is a quote-unquote bad guy. But maybe somewhere along the way throughout the story, something happens and he too goes on a path of redemption. Or the story of the tragic hero, you know, in order to be redeemed, you know, he has to do something in his final act, even sacrifice his life for something good to happen. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Arthur Morgan's character pans out from when we first meet him in the game to the very end of Red Dead Redemption 2. And I kind of like the idea of there being some struggle going on culturally during this time period in the late 1800s with what was done to the Native Americans throughout Manifest Destiny and the Indian Wars, the oppression of different groups such as African Americans, former slaves, as well as Asian immigrants, Irish immigrants. It'll be interesting to see, you know, how complex the world is going to be when it comes to all those issues in Red Dead Redemption 2. Will they be problems? Will they be things that are discussed? Did you hear NPCs talk about in towns and cities, or, you know, riding down the trail or the roads of Red Dead Redemption 2? Will be something that you have to deal with as the protagonist, as Arthur Morgan, because from the trailer, he has, you know, two characters that seem to be, you know, compadres of his. One, a female outlaw. Back in the day, women didn't exactly get treated like you know, equal citizens when it came to rights and freedoms and liberties. And it must have been really tough in the late 1800s for a woman that wanted to be independent, that wanted to be free, that didn't want to be the typical woman that became a housewife and a mother and stay at home and do everything her husband wanted to do. Obviously, that's going to be a struggle that we're going to probably see through the female outlaw that's a friend of Arthur Morgan, as well as the Native American character that we were introduced as well from his own point of view regarding oppression from what transpired throughout the 17 and 1800s through colonization of North America as well as Manifest Destiny. Next, let's move on to my friend Silver Hawkins. I found it decidedly, yeah. So anyways, if you want to know more about why Silver found the second trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2 to be decidedly meow, because we discussed it in the podcast, the ACG podcast, over on Carrick's channel, ACG, if it's up and if it was not gobbled up by gremlins. Hopefully not. If that podcast somehow made it up or is going to be up before the end of the weekend, you'll get our thoughts, my thoughts, along with Silver's thoughts, our discussion that we had, along with Reg, along with Carrick. You know, we'll see what, you know, transpires, and you'll find out a little bit more about why exactly did Silver think Red Dead Redemption 2's second official trailer was, yeah. if you're interested. It's a way of me plugging the International Podcast. By the way, Carrick, one of the best reviewers of video games out there, indie as well as AAA. You can find his channel over in my featured channels section. Okay, so let's move on down the line to Dylan. Dylan. I'm going to say Dylan, okay? I hope that's okay, Dylan. All right, so this is what Dylan has to say, and obviously I responded to him in the message. All right, so he's just praying that, dear God, that the devs don't make a Red Dead Online. If they add an online mode, you know what eventually is going to come around the corner, microtransactions. And as you can tell, this was my response was 6 hours ago. So yeah, I recorded this Thursday night. All right, so there. All right, truth revealed at long last. I didn't do this early Saturday morning or Friday because I was busy Friday. Anyway, so my response, of course, is, you know, they already have trademarked the name Red Dead Online. And with the success of Grand Theft Auto Online, it's made $1 billion at least off of shark cards. You know, the fact is, Take-Two, Rockstar, are not going to allow that potential gold mine to slip under their fingers. And CJ Ware agrees, as Burns says, it's 100% a thing. They would be insane not to make a multiplayer component after Grand Theft Auto Online's success. And unfortunately, I fear that we're going to only see more microtransactions, more monetization going forward with online games from Take-Two, the parent company of Rockstar, 2K, as well as Hangar 13, because that's what Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, said a while back. He felt like that they were, quote-unquote, under-monetizing their game. So I fear that maybe not at launch for Red Dead Online, but very possibly several months later, maybe even a year later, after they've, you know, gotten, you know, kind of a fan base of players in Red Dead Online, and they put out a few quote-unquote cheaper DLCs when they start adding more stuff, similar to what they did with Grand Theft Auto Online. That's when you're going to start seeing the price for things go up, depending on what they end up adding, like more businesses, similar to Grand Theft Auto Online, maybe different, like, crazier breeds than what we're going to see at the beginning, or different types of trailers, wagons, buggies, properties we can purchase. Who knows what Rockstar and Take-Two have up their sleeves regarding Red Dead Online. I don't have a problem with monetization. I just want it to be fair and balanced, to where if you can't afford to, you know, buy a shark card or a shark bond or a horse bond or whatever the hell it's going to be called in Red Dead Online, I just want the ability in the game for you to make the money, to go and grind and, you know, do the missions, do whatever it is in the game that allows you to make money in Red Dead Online. If you grind it enough, you spend some time on it. Not a whole bunch of time, obviously. You don't want to spend 24 hours a day and, you know, completely, you know, have your life sucked away, you know, and lose the job, lose the wife, lose the husband, lose the kids. You know, the pets, you know, unfortunately, you know what happens to pets. If they're not fed and watered, they'll turn on you and then they'll consume your flesh. So hopefully that will not transpire, but I still have the fear about what the future holds for Red Dead Online. So, Dylan, yes, I do think that we're going to get a Red Dead Online, and I hope that for a while at least, Rockstar stays their hand when it comes to bending us over and, you know, having their way of us monetarily, of course, and that hopefully there might be ways and means, a more balanced approach to us having the capacity to earn the new content without having to shell out too much money, you know, dollars, pounds, euros, hopefully, because lately in Grand Theft Auto Online, we've been getting screwed big time. All right, next, let's go to Soren. What's Soren have to say? Soren says hello, and I said howdy. King Easy said hey, and let's see, Mr. Awesome said hello. So everybody watching, hello, hi, hey, howdy. Thanks for watching, by the way. I love some of the comments that come up in these videos, by the way. Next, let's move on to Still King. All right, so Still King has this to say. Man, I can't believe I never played the first. You are missing out on an awesome game. Red Dead Redemption is awesome. Are you talking about Red Dead Revolver? Because technically Red Dead Revolver is the first game in the Red Dead franchise. Even though it's really just considered not really, but Red Dead Revolver was okay. I got to play it recently again on the PS4. You could purchase it through the PlayStation Network store. And it was fun. It was nice to go back. A bit salty. I made it through a few episodes before I rage quitted, but it was kind of cool to see how far the Red Dead series has come since Red Dead Revolver. But Red Dead Redemption was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I played it so many times. And if you haven't had a chance to play it, and if you have an Xbox One, I highly recommend you go get a 360 copy of Red Dead Redemption, which is probably not much, maybe like 10, 15 bucks at a nearest like a used gaming store. Pick it up, put it in your Xbox One and play it. Now, if you're on the PS4, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because the only way you can at the moment play Red Dead Redemption on the PS4 is through PS Now, and that requires like really good internet, and to be honest, you're going to have to shell out some money. But there is a trial period, so what you could do is if you haven't gotten PS Now yet, if you haven't done the trial, just get the trial and then just play Red Dead Redemption while you still have the trial period. And if you don't want to pay any more, then cancel the trial. Unfortunately, that means you no longer can play Red Dead Redemption on the PS4, but at least it gives you a few days to play it via PS Now. But it's a streaming service that still has a lot of issues to it. But anyways, I really wish that they did have a backwards compatible version that you could actually put into PS4 without having to go through PS Now, or even a PC version. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. But anyways, continuing with what Still King had to say, we gotta wander off the trail a little there. This game will be insane. I know it. I don't remember if Grand Theft Auto 5 had some pre-bonus or something like that, but it'd be cool if this one did. Not sure how different online will be, but at least I could put myself into the game. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 definitely did have some pre-bonus content, some various clothing, some unique vehicles that were available in, I think, story mode as well as online. Eventually, they made those vehicles available for everybody, but at the very beginning, like the hot knife, the chameleon, and I believe a motorcycle was part of the pre-order bonus content. And I'm willing to guess the same thing is going to happen for Red Dead Redemption 2. Obviously, we have no information about that. It's officially available for pre-order through various retail chains, including the Rockstar Warehouse. But it probably won't be for at least another month or so before we start seeing what additional treats, what additional things that we might be able to get via pre-order bonus-wise. And hopefully we'll be able to get some cool stuff, some unique items when it comes to pre-ordering, because I know some people like to have incentives when it comes to doing that. And you're right, Sedan, there was a blimp when you pre-ordered Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, the blimp that we used for like 5 seconds in Grand Theft Auto 5 story and never touched again. Next, we go to Mr. Awesome. Good video. I might get this game for my dusty PS4 that I never use. And that's kind of sad because there's plenty of things you can use the PS4 for instead of just playing video games. I mean, like, I have Netflix on my PS4, so anytime I want to Netflix and chill, I got the PS4. And I like to live stream on my PS4, along with my GeauxBurns stream team, occasionally whenever we do Grand Theft Auto. Obviously, I don't think we'll be doing any Grand Theft Auto online live streaming today, because there really isn't anything that could come up with to stream regarding Grand Theft Auto Online. Maybe next week, we'll see. But it's all about Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. But yeah, I mean, I feel kind of the same way about my Switch. My Switch has been collecting dust since I finished Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I may or may not pick up Mario Odyssey. Let's move on to, Kevin. I was disappointed in the trailer. I was expecting more, and I was expecting them to show more of the world. It did show some of it, but not really that much. What trailer did you watch, Kevin? We saw a great deal of the world. We saw forests, we saw rivers, we saw valleys, we saw mountains, we saw parts of towns, at least 2 or 3 different towns. We saw the inside of a bank. We saw at least 1 train heist. I thought we saw a great deal from this trailer. I mean, that's just my opinion, but, you know. Some people, like I said, might have their bar a little bit higher than others. So anyways, continuing with Kevin. It did show some of it, but not really that much. I got an idea. GB, you could do a discussed video of what we want to see in Grand Theft Auto Online. I'm not disgusted by it, Kevin. Sedan says a discuss video. Oh, a discuss video. Okay. Well, maybe Wednesday. Of what we want from Red Dead would be awesome. Maybe 3 things we want to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. And Kevin Boston replies to Sedan, hopefully he sees my comment and decides to do it. What comment? Hey, is there a comment on here I was supposed to see? No? Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm an asshole. All right, so now we got CJ spamming. CJ, come on, don't spam. I love you, CJ, but I mean, I know you're excited, just like some of us are, but man, we can't have spamming on the channel, you know? I mean, but I'll let it slide this time because I'm getting your reactions. All right, so here we go. That kid looks like Marston, but the timeline doesn't add up. John's parents both died when he was young. You are absolutely correct, CJ. But maybe it's his adopted parents. I'm excited to see how Marston ends up with Dutch and gang. So yes, his mother dies, according to story from Red Dead Redemption, while giving childbirth. And I believe his father was kind of a drunkard POS who got killed. He wasn't exactly a good dad to John. So, I don't know. I mean, I think he spent most of his time in an orphanage, so it's possible that eventually he got some foster parents, and I don't know. I don't know exactly how that's going to transpire because a bit of backstory was mentioned by John in the story of Red Dead Redemption. And eventually he does end up with Dutch and the Vanderlyn gang, and I hope that he does in Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot of people would be very salty if John Marston does not end up making an appearance or isn't at least a part of Red Dead Redemption 2 to some capacity. Obviously, a younger John Marston. I don't know if he's as young as, say, the kid that we saw in the trailer, because I was kind of speculating about whether or not that might or might not be John Marston, but I guess the jury is still out on that one. Let's see. Edit that town. 6 minutes, 25 seconds. Looks amazing. Amount of detail and way more vertical towns we have seen in Red Dead Redemption. It's awesome to have Red Dead back in the prime of the West. Continuing, I'm loving Morgan as the main protagonist so far. We can go full outlaw scum now. Rob and pillage whatever we like. Wow, you're letting them inner demons come out, CJ. Awesome. Been waiting for a great breakdown. Thanks, Burns. You're very welcome, CJ. And that's something I'm very, very fascinated about with Arthur Morgan. The fact that he's not John Marston. And he just seems like an all-around bad guy. Well, at least how we're introduced to him in the trailer. He's not at the level of, I would say, Trevor Phillips. But, yeah, he's not very nice. And I kind of want to see how that character plays out. Because, like I said, the name of the game is obviously Red Dead Redemption 2. The theme of the first Red Dead Redemption was about Marston getting redemption, right? And so if the protagonist is Arthur Morgan, then obviously somewhere along the way, something's going to have to happen in which he's going to have to seek redemption as well for his sins. So we'll see how it plays out. Or maybe someone else gets redemption by taking him down. I don't know. There's a lot of speculation going on. But moving on now to, let's see, Sedan. I too am hoping that Arthur is the only player character. I also love it that they made it to where the temperature is a factor. Also, I don't know, a Native American guy is either. For sure, his father is John Barbaro. Oh, no. No more John Barbaro. Like, that happened last year of Mafia 3 regarding Lincoln Clay. Like, is John Barbaro his father? Fortunately, as far as we know, Joe Barbaro is not Lincoln Clay's father. But then again, maybe they need to go find Maury somewhere. Also, clearly, the swampy areas are New Bordeaux, seeing as we got the map a long time ago, showing New Bordeaux as part of a much larger world, unless that map was meant for some sort of large-scale Mafia 4 proof of concept. Now, let's bring the map up on the screen. This map was, leaked, allegedly, some time ago, and I did a video on it, and I was on the fence about whether or not it was real or fake. It looked a little too detailed to be fake, and it seems like from the first trailer and this trailer that there are things that match up in that map to the trailers, which kind of, sort of, possibly confirms that rough draft map being the real deal. I mean, it's just a rough draft. It's not the final product. But, yeah, there is a swampy area, and the New Orleans-esque city is also called New Bordeaux. And we knew about this around the same time we found out that the name of the city in Mafia 3 was also going to be called New Bordeaux. Now, is that a coincidence? I don't think so because, like I mentioned, Rockstar, makers of Red Dead Redemption 2, and Hangar 13, the makers of Mafia 3, are both under the Take-Two umbrella. So I don't know if New Bordeaux simply was just a placeholder for the map until they came up with a different name to call that New Orleans-esque city. That's what I'm going to go with. They probably already knew that that's what the Mafia 3 New Orleans was going to be called, so they just put it there, just as a placeholder until they came up with something else to call that version of New Orleans in Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's what I'm banking on right now, that it was just a coincidence. It was just a placeholder until, the final product, the final draft, if you will, the names of the map itself, locations, etc., etc. Next, CJ, I never thought the map was credible, but the guy who leaked it did get the fact that it was set before Red Dead Redemption right. So who knows? Maybe we're getting a Take-Two universe. And of course, Sedan replies to CJ, I felt the same way at first, but the fact that they got New Bordeaux right even before Mafia announced the setting makes me curious. I just think it's weird that there's a map combining the locations for apparently no reason. It's not like some random fan speculation that means nothing. So I think it goes back to one or two things. Either A, there's some sort of Take-Two universe going on when it comes to their games, which I doubt. Because like Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto are not even tied together. And you think that if there was some sort of like shared universe, it would be between Grand Theft Auto as well as Red Dead Redemption because, they both are made by Rockstar. There are some theories out there that Bully exists in the Grand Theft Auto universe though, but that's another side trail that we're not going to venture off to today. But I think it was just a placeholder on the map, this rough draft of the map, as you can tell. I don't think this is a finished product, and I think they just had names. Some of the names they probably ended up keeping, some names they scrapped in favor of better names. And I think they knew that that's what Hangar 13 was going to call their version of New Orleans, like I said. So they decided, screw it. For now, we'll just put New Bordeaux there. And until we come up with our own name, that's what we'll call it. And I'm sure they have their own unique name for the city of New Orleans in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now we're moving back to King Easy. God, you guys are so excited. You're just posting bazillion comments. It's all good today. I'm letting that rule slide. I'm waiving it. My spam rule. King Easy. I really like Dutch in Redemption 1, so I'm glad he's back in Redemption 2. Good video, GeauxBurns. Thank you very much. Next, we're moving on to Bazaar. The 7-minute mark looks like Armadillo. And also, listen to their accents. Sounds like Louisiana. Wait a minute. I'm from Louisiana. Do I sound like I'm from Louisiana? Actually, I'm from East Texas. I'm a child of two states, but anyways, I don't exactly have what you would call an accent, but we're not talking about me, and this is set in the late 1800s when accents were more prevalent back in the day. So I thought about this regarding, Arthur Morgan. He kind of sort of has an accent that you could say is maybe Louisiana. Not entirely Cajun, because you can actually understand it. I apologize to any Cajuns that happen to be viewers, subscribers, and fans, by the way. But it's true. But I don't know. I mean, it'll be fascinating to learn more about Arthur Morgan, where he comes from, what he's all about. And he does have a very unique accent, and I personally like it. Now, regarding Bazaar, talking about that looking like Armadillo, I disagree. I think it looks a little too wet and muddy to be Armadillo. That's just my opinion about it. It's a small-esque town like Armadillo from Red Dead Redemption, but I don't think that we're going to be going west. Because in the trailer, Arthur talks about how, lawmen from 3 different states have chased us. They chased us from the west, they chased us over the mountains, which implies that they got chased from the western map of Red Dead Redemption, and they got chased over the mountains of maybe, the other part of the map. So I think that there's a very real possibility that we may not go to any of the locations in the first Red Dead Redemption game. No Blackwater, no tall trees. Maybe that's just going to be limited to Red Dead Redemption, and everything else is going to be to the east and to the north. Similar to how that map is, that rough draft map that was leaked out some time ago. Last but not least, we go to Brian. Hi, GB. The trailer was awesome. Brian, hi. And I agree with you 100%. And I agree with Silver and his 0%. But Silver, I still love you. All right, so that's what we're going to do for Wednesday. We are going to discuss more about Red Dead Redemption 2. We might as well get on that choo-choo hype train while we're at it, right? Okay, so Kevin, you have gotten your wish for once in your life. You can now, I don't know, write the tell-all book. You know, the bestseller for Canada. All right, so this is what we're going to do. All right, 3 things you want to see in Red Dead Redemption 2 that you did not see from either trailer or the screenshots that has come out. What is at least 1 to 3 things that you would like to see in Red Dead Redemption 2? That's going to be Wednesday's Discuss video. I have no idea what I'm going to title the Discuss video. I'll come up with something between now and then. So you have till the end of tomorrow, Sunday. You have till Sunday to come up with your one thing you really want in Red Dead Redemption 2. It could be like an ability. It could be a plot in the story. It could be a specific type of characters or an historical event. It could be almost anything you can think of, anything your heart desires that you would like to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. Feel free and send it my way. And like I mentioned, you have till Sunday, which is tomorrow, October 1st. The beginning of my favorite month ever. So, by the end of the day tomorrow, I know it's a very short notice, but I got to get the video edited, put together, and put up for Wednesday. So you have till tomorrow, October 1st. I can't believe it's already October, by the way. Hopefully it'll start cooling off. To give me your ideas, what you would like to see. You are limited to 3. You don't have to do 3. You could do 1. You could do 2. Or 3, but try not to make it too much of a novel, Sedan or Kevin. Try and edit it a little bit so that we're not, it doesn't go on for too long. And try and edit yourselves, please. So I'm not sitting here reading it and it just goes off. And don't go off trail either. Don't go off trail. That's the moral of the story today. Do not go off trail. I've had to bring myself back on trail in this video, and I expect nothing less from the rest of you. And you can send your 1 or 3 ideas regarding Red Dead Redemption 2 either below in the comment section or via the social media sites, which are found below in the description section, Twitter or Facebook. So once again, you have between now and the end of October 1st, tomorrow, mañana, to submit your idea or your 2 ideas or your 3 ideas regarding what you would like to see in Red Dead Redemption 2.